Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. That movie is incredible. But the real point of Rudy was to just kind of the plot, if you haven't seen it, was a walk on guy who has his own troubles in life, shows up, works hard, and eventually is able to make the team and get on the field for Notre Dame, which was a very prestigious, still is a prestigious program, was very prestigious back in the day. One of the most popular sports movies of all time because everybody loves the walk on, right? The walk on, in my opinion, is one of the most selfless things you can do in life. You know, ego is a pretty interesting thing, especially in the world of college basketball, where it's a professional sport nowadays. But when some people are getting mad because they're not getting paid money or the millions of dollars they want, or they're not getting the playing time they want, there are still people out there who are paying to do the same work, or pretty much the same work as the regular dudes that are on the team, right? And so this video is just as we get into March, just kind of realizing how thankful we are for the walk-ons of the world, how they put aside their ego, because they're very good basketball players in their own right, who for most of their lives have been very, very good. But putting aside their egos for the greater good of the team, showing up every day and supporting their teammates, it's a beautiful thing. These are the true MVPs of March, As we'll see, walk-ons are mainly, when you are asked to picture a walk-on, you probably picture these guys like dudes with their warm-up jerseys on, doing crazy, celebrations on the bench, just trying to have fun and support their team at the end of the bench. But most of these times, these people are not named. They're not recognized by the broadcast. They don't even get off the bench. They kind of just sit there for 40 minutes, which is a tough thing to do. If you've ever played sports, sitting on the bench is one thing that we're taught to avoid, right? It's taught that, you're less than, if you sit on the bench. But the truth of it is, after reading so many articles, as Tony Bennett said, he gets the most mad when people disrespect the walk-ons because they are what makes college basketball great. They're one of the things that makes college basketball great. The people that set aside their pride and just help the team out, whether that be, pushing the team harder in drills, being there for them off the court, or just putting in the extra work when nobody's asking them to. They're paying out of their own pocket. They're not even getting the benefits as these college basketball players are. So as we get into March, these people are really important. Being a walk-on is really hard. Even just getting that opportunity, it's miraculous, as seen in Rudy. Rudy had, to jump through a lot of hoops, and, he had to work hard, and he had to kind of get lucky. You kind of have to have a coach that's going to recognize and notice your hard work. And this coach, the coach in the movie, finally found a soft spot for Rudy, and let him dress for the game and stuff like that. But tryouts for these walk-on practices are very extreme, from what I've heard. I read an article on ESPN from 2011, which said that walk-on tryouts are about 1/10 as difficult as a real college basketball practice. So they're working you, and they're going to keep working you. Coaches don't take pity on the walk-ons. Walk-ons do the same sprints as everybody else, the same conditioning drills. They're working their butts off to get zero recognition. And most people would say that it's not worth it. But honestly, I think it is, just for the dedication and time that you put in to being a team member. You got to learn so many great lessons being a walk-on. For example, you're putting in the same work as the scholarship guys. Sometimes even more. Sometimes you're doing the grunt work. You're handing out the water bottles. You're just rebounding for guys. You know, you're doing kind of the boring stuff, slogging through the days while you actually have to go to class. And you're not going to the NBA most likely. So you have to earn good grades. You're there for the college experience, but you're also there for the basketball experience. So you have to be very good at time management, but you get no benefits of it. I mean, you get to be part of a team, which I think outweighs everything. Being part of a team, being part of a brotherhood, that's something that I cherish. But most people would look at that and be like, you're getting zero money, you're getting zero recognition. Yeah, sure, you get to put on your resume that you were on the basketball team, but does that really matter if you weren't playing at all? And, you know, like your jersey's not going to go down in the rafters. But yes, it does matter. And to end this video, I'm going to highlight a player that I read a story about that really inspired me. The story of Ryan Elvin, who is now a coach at Houston. Elvin was a very good basketball player. He could have played at the Division II or Division III levels, but he chose to walk on at Houston. And if you know, Kelvin Sampson's practices, from what I've heard, are different. They are unlike anyone else's in the nation. I'll talk a little bit about that maybe during the offseason. But this man did everything. You know, for 4 years, he worked his tail off, you know, just to see a few spot minutes at the end of the bench. But because he was genuine, because he worked hard, everybody loves Ryan Elvin in the city of Houston. All of his teammates appreciate him. And I just think that walk-ons playing basketball for a college basketball team is one of the most beautiful things on planet Earth.